For all circle angles, we have more than one variable in most of these problems. So that just means you got to do two separate ideas. Someone raise your hand for number one. Just tell me how you found. I'm going to write down the answers. We'll see if my arithmetic was correct. I've got y equal to 91. And I've got x. Is x a decimal?
Yes.
62.5 degrees. Raise your hand. Just tell me how you find the y. Francisco.
You add up all the arcs that you already know.
You already know 197 and 72. How many degrees in a circle? 360. So you're just using the idea of the circle to find what y is. What rule, Francisco, are we using to find x? That's what I want to know. You do subtract arcs, and then what? And then divide by 2. You're taking this, and the subtracting arcs divided by 2 helps you find that. Tangent secant angle.
Oh.
For number 2, I got x equal to 116 degrees and y equal to 64 degrees. Raise your hand, tell me what rule or what you're doing to find. I would have found x first. We'll do z in a second. Did you do z first? Okay, there's a couple different ways to find this. If you do z first, you're probably just using the 360 degrees for the circle to complete the circle, and that is that 74?
Yeah.
How many people decided to use the add arcs divide by 2 a couple times? You could have done that twice, or you could have used what I just did to find this first, and then look for your bow ties. Here's a bow tie, or an hourglass. I know to find the x, I need to use the 136 and the 96, because that's interior to that bow tie or to that hourglass. And then if I want to find y, I could use linear pair if I wanted to, or once I found z, I could use that and that to help me find the y. Lots of different ways to get your answer. What kind of angle is number 3? Inscribe, what's the rule? Half of the arc. Until you have memorized all of this, I recommend writing these little informal rules that we came up with. I've got x equal to 110, and half of that is 55. Look good? I'll start putting it right into the drawing if I can. I've got 200 for up here. Is this a chord? Is this a tangent? We have a tangent chord rule that says this is going to be half of the arc that is intersected. Did everyone write down 250 here? How much is a circle? 360. Do a little subtraction. What's the rule when I have two tangents and I'm dealing with angles and arcs? This is the same rule as this one. If it's any combination of tangents and secants, when we're dealing with angles and arcs, you're going to subtract arcs, divide by 2. That means that y is 70? Yes. Do you understand how we get to 200? Right. And since that's a tangent chord that's forming the angle, that's half the arc also, same as in the scribe. And the same for 2 secants. We're going to subtract arcs and divide by 2. So I would have gotten the y first, and that turns out to be 30. Is that correct? If I subtract 40 minus 30 and divide by 2, what is x? 5. Another inscribed angle. So if I can find x first, that would be helpful. That turns out to be 60. So what is y? We're moving fast. If you aren't sure where I'm getting something from, stop me. We've got time. Does everybody understand where the 60 and the 30 came from?
Yes.
More subtracting arcs. But I've got to know what this arc is. Oh, actually, I've got the angle first, so I'm working backwards. I'm still subtracting arcs. I'm still doing 193 minus the other arc. I'm dividing by 2. I just happen to know what the outcome is. If I solve that, I should get 107 for that arc. And that leaves me with 60 right there.
Okay, got it.
And a lot of this, even if you couldn't work backwards from the equation, you could do some trial and error if you knew what the formula was. You know the formula is subtract arcs divided by 2. You could keep putting something in for x until you got what you wanted. Number 9 is our add arcs divided by 2. And I would look to this one first because I know the ends of the hourglass. I know those 2 arcs, so that will help me find the y to be 23. And once I have 23, I can do a linear pair with the x. That's going to give me 157. Question, Taylor? Oh, there's a z on there, and z turns out to be 130. I'm going to figure out the y first in number 10. I get 61. Because I know 210, I know 21, and I know 68. What we're finding is that people are ignoring this little piece for some reason when they're determining total arcs for the circle. Now that I have this and this, what do I do with them?
Subtract and divide by 2.
Subtract and divide by 2, that gives you 20 for x. For number 11, I've got to take x, subtract 31, divide by 2, that gives me 27. If I solve that equation, I get 85. Once I know 85, 78, and 31, that leaves how much for y? All right, 85, 109. What was that, Taylor? 166, does that look right? If you add up 166, 31, 78, and 85, 251, 282, that should be 360. Look at the little equation right above it. Any questions on number 11? You'll feel more smart when you actually know where these formulas come from. Here's the proof for why an inscribed angle is half of its arc. It's a 2-page proof with 3 different cases. We'll be doing that after as well.
Yay.
For number 12, if I solve that equation, 182 for x, that leaves 116 for up here. I've got people in my other classes who are confusing segment rules with arc and angle rules. The segment rule for tangents would be this. Is that going to help us? No. If we're dealing with lengths, that's what we want to do. When we're dealing with arcs and angles, what's the rule? Subtract arcs, divide by 2. So I have 244, and what is that? Is that 116? If you're stuck on something, it's because you've forgotten what the total of something is. In this case, it's 360. So 244 minus 116 divided by 2 gives you 64. Is that right? Is that right? Yes. Check my arithmetic out. These look right. That look right. You are going to have 50 problems on this test. My guess is that you'll get them done within less than an hour. You're going to have plenty of time to check. If you write down 85 here, double check yourself. All of these should add up to 360. If you get 2 angles that are next to each other, like 79 and 101, they should be a linear pair. Double check on this test.
concept up. You say I, you say what you want to do.
So translate it from the